An utterly embarrassing display from Liverpool at home, losing a record to Burnley via a penalty that was an absolutely nailed on penalty. No arguments from my end about that. Mike Dean made the right decision. We let ourselves down once again, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to take you through that penalty incident and why it was entirely preventable. We gave away a cheap free kick yet again, and I was saying it all game. Don't give them cheap free kicks, don't give them set pieces, don't give them opportunities to get the ball into the box. And what do? Joel Matip goes over the top of Ashley Barnes, allows Burnley to get a set piece. Burnley play the ball in. Ashley Barnes gets his way through and Alisson brings him down. It's a nailed on penalty. It's as clear a penalty as you're going to see this season. And look, from my point of view, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even angry. I'm not even angry anymore. It's gone past that. We need to really reevaluate things and quickly, because we're not winning the title this season and we can forget about that. That's not happening. We're now in a fight for top four. That's where I think Liverpool are at this point in time. And we need to sort it out, or we won't be in the Champions League next season, let alone trying to regain a Premier League title. I don't know what's going on at the club right now. A lot of heads look like they're dropping. At times today, that looked like a group of players that had no self-belief about them. Firmino looks completely devoid of any confidence whatsoever. The couple of chances he did have in the game, just skied them and put them wide. No doubt we did improve a little bit when they came on, but not enough that we actually caused any real distress to that Burnley defence. We had some opportunities. Salah had a good save from Nick Pope. In my opinion, he should have used the defender as a guide and got around towards the far post. Whatever I say is not going to change the feeling that all Liverpool fans are feeling right now. Opposition fans have every fucking right to come in and banter us right now, because we are a disgrace. This is not Liverpool. This is not the Liverpool that we've seen under Jurgen Klopp, and something very seriously has gone wrong. It's not simply down to injuries. It's not simply down to Virgil van Dijk. It's not simply down to having no Joe Gomez. There's something deeper. There's something that we're not hearing about. There's something going on right now that's causing this to be as it is. And I don't know what it is, ladies and gentlemen, but we look absolutely toothless going forward. We would have kept a clean sheet had we not given away the penalty. So again, I'm not going to argue and talk too much about our defensive display, because I don't think they were that bad, to be fair, defensively. Just going forward yet again, we had nothing. We didn't create anything. Every time we got into a wide area, it was too obvious. Trent's crossing was horrendous today. We weren't beating the first man on set pieces when we had corners and stuff like that as well. And right now, we're a long way off challenging for the title this season. And look, I'm a realist. I call it as I see it. Sometimes I come on and I'm angry, and that anger usually comes from disappointment, but that was just more of the same. That was just what we've been seeing recently from this group of players, which is completely at odds with how they've been over recent years. And they've probably got enough credit in the bank to ride out this little blip. At least I think they should have enough credit in the bank, but we need a shake-up. We need something. Yeah, look, it's disappointing. I've got no defence for our performance again today. It wasn't good enough. There are some little bright sparks that look like they're trying to do a few bits and pieces, but overall, that was just a pathetic performance from Liverpool today. Just stale, just devoid of ideas going forward. Just lumping crosses into the box, to the 6-yard box, aerially, like we're going to have Sadio Mane beating their centre-backs in the air. It was just... we have every right to be bantered right now, but we have to just regather ourselves before the season gets away from us completely. We've got an FA Cup game coming up against United on Sunday. Look, how we go into that with confidence, I don't know. I don't know what type of confidence lads will be in. We've got a massive league game coming up against Spurs, and look, we need to forget about the title right now. We need to get back to basics, and we need to concentrate on just getting wins together, because if not, we'll be out of that top four before we know it, and we'll be looking at a Europa League place next season at best. And this group of players are capable of so much more than that. And look, it's up. I think the reason I'm probably not as angry as I usually am is because there is going to come a time where big teams have a dip. City had their dip last year. We've seen United and Arsenal, Chelsea, the great Premier League sides of the past, have dips as well. And maybe Liverpool are just going through airs right now, and maybe it's time for a little bit of freshening up. Maybe it's time for a few new faces. Maybe it's time to replace some of the players that have been fantastic for us. It just gets the feeling, maybe it's just me, but I get the feeling now we're at the stage of Klopp trying to build a second Liverpool side. I'm going to go over to the chat and see how you guys feel about it anyway. We need an overhaul, Craig. Team's getting older. I think that's a fair point for you. Yeah, Patrick, I smell a goal coming. You know, fair enough, mate. I did say it. And I was right, just not for us, not at the right end. What have we got? Paddy said, good luck, Craig. My team for Spurs. I'm praying we don't get a win. United, I hate them. Scotty said, Craig, your opinion on what happened to us. I'm genuinely baffled, mate, because all week I've no doubt that we were running attack versus defenders, that we were doing rondos, that we were doing things that were all about working balls in tight areas and trying to pick the lock, for want of a better phrase. And again, we went at that tonight, and yes, we created a couple of chances, but you can't say that Nick Pope made worldie after worldie after worldie. He made some great saves. Nick Pope's a very good goalkeeper, but you know, this doesn't feel like one of them days where we battered the goal and did everything bar score. This feels like a game where we don't deserve anything from it. You can have all the possession you want. It doesn't matter one jot. I keep saying it. All that matters is the scoreboard at the end of the game. Everything else is just noise. And for us right now, we need to start putting the ball in the net. Sounds easy, but as the old cliche goes, it's the hardest thing in the game to do. Fell into Burnley's hands, giving away those free kicks. Tom, I was screaming it right before the game, right the way through, mate. I was saying the same thing. It was so obvious what we needed not to do. But the penalty incident was just farcical from start to finish, to be fair. I mean, the penalty was nailed on, don't get me wrong. I mean, Mike Dean was absolutely spot on to award it, and Ashley Barnes stuck it away in fair play to the lad. But from our point of view, it came from giving away another stupid free kick, needless. Patrick said, you can tell players are lacking confidence in front of goal. Shots directly at Pope at least 3 times today. Trent was trash again. He was awful, mate. His delivery was terrible. It was the same thing over and over again. Kept playing the same ball, expecting a different outcome. And rather than play it first time when there was actually space, he was taking a touch and when you take that touch, what you do is you're allowing the defence to get that 2 yards further back and get back into position. If you're going to do this and move the ball side to side quickly to try and create space in behind, you've got to do it quickly. You can't be taking a touch. It needs to be one touch movement and then early crosses. Not this lumping the ball into the 6 yard box from the edge of the penalty spot. No, you need to be getting to the byline and pulling it back, and there just wasn't enough of that for us today. There wasn't enough movement ahead from the forwards. And look, we can make excuses till the cows come home. We weren't good enough and we didn't deserve anything from the game. It is as simple as that. It was a pathetic display, and we let the home record go with a whimper and not a fight. And that's what hurts me the most about this is we went off that pitch with a whimper. And there was lads pulling out tackles. I said it about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I said it about Mohamed Salah. Both of them pulling out tackles in 50-50s there when that's unacceptable to me. You go out there with that Liverpool shirt on, you die for that shirt, you bleed for the cause, and lads pulling out challenges. You've probably got more of a chance to get injured, by the way, pulling out of a challenge than going into it. And the desire, the heart, it wasn't there. And I don't give a shite what Klopp says. I don't care what he comes on and what he has to say about this. The manager needs to own up, grow a pair now, and say that it needs to be shaken up. He needs to go to the board and say, look, we need to freshen this up. It is what it is. We need to be big and ugly enough to say it as it is. I love Jurgen Klopp. Yes, he is the right man to stay at the club. Yes, I believe that we need a few tweaks, but I still have absolute belief in the manager. This is a blip, and it's a blip that we need to get through. How we get through it? Your answer is as good as mine, folks. Look, and all you guys coming in to banter us, you're right to banter us. Right now, we're in a position where we deserve to be bantered. So look, all the opposition fans coming in, you're damn right. You've every right to be in the chat now and laughing at us, because we deserve to be laughed at, because that was a fucking laughable performance. From our point of view, we got to just shake ourselves down and get on with it. But look, let me get to some more of the chat. What have we got? Greg, Paddy, I've seen your comment, mate. Please don't keep putting it in over. I'm going to have to kick you out, Paddy, mate. It's just spamming, mate. We don't like spamming in the channel. Right, sorry. I want to get through with more of your comments, right? So when you want to get off your chest, folks, whack it into the chat and I'll do my best to get through it. Unlucky from a United fan, mate. It wasn't even unlucky, Mary. It was shocking. It was shocking. There was no bad luck today. We can't blame any officials' decisions. It was just a shit performance from us today. That's as simple as that. Top 4 prediction. To be fair, and I'm going to be obvious, Man City will win the league. United come second. Liverpool maybe third. And even at that, we've got work to do. I think we're in a top 4 race now, not a title race. I think we need to just worry about getting back to basics and trying to get some points on the board. Here's some money for the tissues to wipe away the tears. Fair play, mate. A bit of banter. Nothing wrong with it, Jack. And look, yeah, I'm heartbroken, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I don't know who this is we're watching. This isn't the Liverpool that we've seen over the last 4 years. And, it gets past the point where it's a blip, and it's, you know, it gets to a stage where you get worried, and I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to get a bit worried now. I don't know how you guys are feeling. Again, I'd love to hear some comments from the chat. There was a super chat prediction for the FA Cup. I can't give a prediction, Zach, because I find with the FA Cup, it's tough to gauge how strong each manager is going to go. So I've no idea how seriously Solskjaer is going to treat this from a United perspective, and I've no idea how seriously Klopp will treat it. But, you know, it'll be another interesting game. I just hope it's not the 0-0 bore-fest that we had at Anfield in the last one. What else we got? Sorry for the hate, man. I just love your channel. Respect, man. It is what it is, man. I don't take any of this stuff seriously. Cry more. Fair enough, mate. If you want me to, I can do it, but I need more super chats to cry. I cannot. You know, the tears are dried up a bit. I feel a few super chats might loosen up the old tears. What else we got? Pogba's better than Thiago. Fair enough. You're entitled to your own opinion, mate. I'm more interested to hear some. Despite all the controversial calls in United's favour, I feel like they deserve to win the Premier League. Whoever is at the top of the table at the end of the season deserves to win the Premier League, and if that's Manchester United, then of course, you know, you don't get lucky over 38 games. 38 game season, and whoever wins the Premier League deserves to win it. So you can't get lucky throughout an entire season. So if that's Manchester United at the end of the season, then they'll be the team that deserves to win it. If it's Manchester City, if it's Spurs, if it's whoever it might be, time will tell. But it's not looking like it's Liverpool at this point, to be fair, folks. Fume Costello said our attacks are so predictable. 4 passes, Trent's cross that goes to no one, and I believe Nico should be starting over Trent now. There is a conversation to be had about, are some of these lads a little bit too comfortable? And again, I don't know, but Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville did a good piece on Monday Night Football where they were talking about the teams that stay in their prime usually average about 3 years, and they gave some great examples of Manchester United sides and Barcelona sides and Chelsea sides that, you know, have won a lot of stuff, but every 3 years there was a lot of changes there and some new blood brought in. I feel like Jota was an amazing signing, don't get me wrong, that's an incredible piece of business from the club. Tsimikas, I can't judge yet because I honestly haven't seen enough of the lad to know, but the most worrying thing, I think, from my point of view, is the lack of real leadership on the pitch. That's worrying me. Like, there was a lot of senior pros out there, a lot of players that have been around a long time, but they didn't put it in. They didn't put in a shift. They didn't. I know there was a lack of leadership. There was a lack of somebody to just grab that game by the scruff of the neck and say, "I'm taking this over. I'm getting us over the line here," and it wasn't there today. Salty Singh, I'm happy to make it. Imagine I made it. I gather, mate, you're probably of Indian origin or something like that. I'm not sure what part of the world you're from, buddy, but imagine I was to mock your colour or your appearance. Imagine how that would go down. Now, you're there calling me Uncle Fester. Fair enough. I can take a bit of banter. But if this shoe was on the other foot, mate, I think we know what you'd be doing right now. You'd be calling something, wouldn't you? So, you know, I'm open to any slagging, mate, but, you know, there are lines to this stuff as well. Hendo and VVD missing, yeah, absolutely. But then there's the argument around why we have so many injuries. Why do we have so many players now that are picking up a lot of knocks? Has the toll that's been taken on them in the past 3 or 4 years really gotten to the lads, and are some of their bodies breaking down? I don't know. I'm probably not qualified enough to... Not probably, I'm absolutely not qualified enough to talk about that. Mane needs to sit on the bench for a while. I'm bringing in who, though? That's the worry, mate. I mean... We could pick anyone in the front three. We could pick Mane, we could pick Salah, we could pick Firmino, and we could make a valid argument as to why they all need to spend some time on the bench. But the problem is, at the moment, the options are Shaqiri, who's done okay, Origi, who was horrendous, and Minamino, who, for some reason, the gaffer just doesn't want to give an opportunity to. Rabadan said, Spurs up next. Jose rubbing his hands, and probably rightly so. I mean, if you're going to play Liverpool, this is probably the right time to be playing them. Takumi needs to start. United fans saying 21 is coming. A long way to go, mate, but you're certainly in the race. I mean, boys 28, I could spend the time replying to you, mate, but you know, it's the least creative bit of troll that I've ever seen, pal. Where are Liverpool in the league? Actually, I have to look at the league table. Are we still fourth? I couldn't even tell you, mate, at this moment in time. I haven't even looked at the damn table since the game's been over. Yeah, we're fourth, and Spurs can overtake us, and we can drop down into fifth. And look, our performances deserve us to fall down the table because we've been horrendous. I'm not somebody who's delusional. I call things as I see them, and we're not good enough now. So no, we're not going to be in a title race, and we don't deserve to be in a title race playing like this. Would I rather have Jota back or VVD? VVD. I think VVD, because VVD would help us going forward as well as obviously. But yeah, look, the problem is we're not massive. We're not massively conceding a lot of goals. I mean, yes, there's an argument to be made that by having to play Fabinho as a centre back, we're losing out a very good holding midfielder, and that's a fair argument. But I think it's a culmination of a bit of everything. It's a combination of missing some players, a lack of confidence, tiredness. But look, we're here right now to be bantered, and we deserve to be. It's simple as that. I don't have any excuses today. At home to Burnley, you want to be winning these games. Like, that's just unacceptable. I'm sorry, it's just unacceptable. Sorry for the racist comment. I'm Indian, but it disgusts me with that comment. That's alright, man. You didn't make it, James. All good, buddy. Lovely to have you in, though, James. Appreciate you being here with us, pal. Are the Liverpool players burnt out? Yeah, potentially. But whatever excuses we make, whatever way we come up with trying to rationalise these performances, at the end of the day, that squad is good enough that it should be beating Burnley. Why it doesn't happen? I know, we'll have our excuses, but at the end of the day, something's not right. And if we don't put this rot right quickly, we're not going to be in Champions League football next season, let alone be in a title race. And that's just the straight up truth of it. Thank you, man. Somebody said great content. Well then, I can smell it. I know that one definitely bit me in the ass, didn't it? I did smell a goal though. I just got the direction wrong from where it came from. Chances created absolutely don't equal goals. Yeah. Respect to Man United unbiased, said Zishan. I call things as I see them, man. That's one thing you'll always get from me is honesty on here. Why didn't Salah start? Because he was horrendous, mate, recently, as was Bobby Firmino. But the real thing is, once again, when the fringe players were given an opportunity, they didn't take their chance. So, you know, it's time to get rid of Origi. I still think there's something in Shaqiri. I think that there's enough there to keep Shaqiri, but how difficult Origi gets to start for Liverpool these days, I'll never know. I don't know why, and with Kimi Menina's getting no options, but yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating, but you know, I'm not gonna lose the rag over it because I'm more like everybody else, probably just heartbroken, soul destroyed, confused. I haven't got any anger left in me to give at this point with the way it's been recently. You need more subs. Thank you, Holly. Well, hopefully people hit that subscribe button and do enjoy our content. Mind that gap. It's a fair comment, Tony, mate. You're fully entitled to say it. That was never a pen. Look, it was. Let's be honest about it. It was a blatant penalty. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm a fucking Liverpool fan through and through, but like to say that wasn't a pen, it's just silliness. It was nailed on Penno, 100% Penno. I don't think we're going to end in relegation now, mate. I mean, if we don't sign a centre back, relegation's a bit harsh, but stop making excuses. Well, then what do you want me to do, mate? I have to come on here and try and find a reason. Or else I just come on and start slating every player, but that doesn't make it any better. So, I'm not looking for excuses. I'm just looking for us to click, and I'm trying to find maybe reasons why, but I'm not making excuses for them. They're not good enough at this moment in time. It is simply that. Stephen Nolan said, why do you think Minamino's not getting a chance? I'm in the same boat, scratching my head with Donny at United. Wouldn't be too worried about Liverpool. All great teams have dips. Thank you for that, mate. I'm generally at a loss, mate, as to why he's not getting a chance, why he's not getting an opportunity. Like to bring him out with 9 minutes to go when Divock got the guts of the game, I'm baffled. I think Divock got 60 minutes or something, 59 minutes too long. And Takumi Minamino's just not getting a sniff. But yet the manager's saying that he's training well and he processes and takes on information well, he's tactically aware. Then why isn't he getting a chance? Do you know what I mean? Why isn't he getting a chance? It's weird. Love the honesty. Look, Connor, when I started this channel with Connor, mate, all I ever said he'll get from me is honesty and a little bit of banter along the way, because there's no point in me sitting here burying my head in the sand and just trying to say things that aren't true. We've been shit lately, and that's been reflected in the performances, and the performances and the scoreless doesn't lie. We can't blag our way to a Premier League title. We're out of that title race right now, unless something changes very, very quickly. And look, even at that, I think top 4 this season now, and see how we get on in the Champions League. But look, I'm not going to slate these lads and throw them under a bus. How can I? This group of players, maybe they're at the end of this little rotation, I don't know, but this group of players have given me some amazing memories over the past 3 and 4 years, and have given us Liverpool fans some wonderful times. So I'm not going to slate them, I'm not going to throw them under a bus. I'm disappointed, but I love and respect each and every one of those lads that puts on a Liverpool shirt. So it's just sadness, it's just disappointing, it's just frustration, but I'm not going to throw them under a bus. Hey, Mr. Singh, I'm glad to see you've come back in, mate, and fair play to you. Takes a big man, Matt, to admit when they've said something wrong, so no worries, pal, it's all good. No worries, buddy. The goal did come Mark Goldberg's fan account, it just didn't come at the right end for me. Your injuries are no excuse. Did I once say the injuries are the reason? See, TLR, mate, you're trying to come in and have a pop about stuff that I haven't even said. I agree with you. You're not getting an argument from me. We have no excuse with the squad we have, but I'm not using the squad as an excuse, pal. I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck we're firing blanks, that's all. Get rid of Klopp. That's not the right move at all. That's not the right move. Freshen it up. Maybe it is time to move a few players on in the summer. But I'm not standing for the getting rid of Klopp thing. Sorry, I'm not having that. Do I think no fans is one of the reasons? To be fair, Sam, it's the same for everybody. So I don't think I can't sit here and say Liverpool have been more hard done by than anybody else because the fans are in the stadiums. It's the same for every club, man. Am I single? No, I'm happily married. Love you too, man. Thank you. Missed my super chat again. Sorry, man. I'll click on it here. Apologies. I read that, Stephen. I read your super chat, mate. I did miss a super chat. I've scrolled back through it and there's none that I've missed. The last one was Stephen's and I read it. There's no other super chats on my screen, pal. Oh, I hate to miss them. That's why I scrolled back and checked. Do you think the players aren't clinical enough? Well, yes, absolutely. Connor said, not saying we get rid of Klopp by any stretch, but what's the threshold for people do turn on him? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think we're at a point where they've enough credit in the bank to allow them a blip and to allow them even a poor season. But that's it after that. Like, you know, that credit runs out. You get one poor run, you get one poor season. At the end of the day, football's a ruthless business and we need to secure Liverpool's future going forward. And how they shake that up, that's what the manager's paid for. That's what Michael Edwards is paid for. That's what the ownership group is there for. They've got to get their heads together now and figure this out. But to keep banging our heads against the same brick wall and just thinking a different outcome is going to come is getting frustrating, to be honest with you. We are, as opposition fans said, very predictable at times. And that's not because Van Dijk's not there, because we play a similar style of football to getting the ball to our full-backs and we're just firing blanks all over the pitch. I mean, the only person to me that has any credibility right now is Fabinho, Robbo, and Alisson. Probably the only players I think out there that I think have made a good account of themselves so far this season. Man City might run away with it now. Look, they're certainly the favourites for the title, no doubt about that. Humpty Dumpty always has his chin up, Stanners, mate. Humpty Dumpty's not going to have a great fall, buddy. Do you know what I mean? All the king's horses and all that jazz. It's only January. Yeah, it feels weird, isn't it? It does feel weird like that. We're at the halfway point of the season now. It feels like we should be so much further in. Props to you for being unbiased. Man, look, I'll always give you my honest opinion. I'm not somebody that's going to just come on here and talk bollocks. I tell it as I see it. We've been shy. We deserve to be bantered. And it is what it is. It's up to us, as a club, to get it right and to figure it out. By Ben White, yes, I absolutely second that, mate. Am I watching the McGregor fight? Yeah, definitely am. I'm not going to stream it though, pal. I just need a bit of a rest. I'm exhausted these days, but I think I'll definitely be watching the fight, yeah. Funny actually, Taylor, I know you're trying to be a smart arse, mate, but I had a little interaction with Bates in a while ago, funnily enough. I definitely see the resemblance there, to be fair. But I'm also 10 times better than he is. Like, far better. Far more entertaining. How am I feeling? Honestly, just heartbroken, soul destroyed, frustrated, annoyed, angry. Yeah, disappointed. I mean, anything that you can say. How do you not have 100,000 subs yet? I don't know, but we'll get there bit by bit, day by day. What have we got? Do you think we should sell one of the front three? Yes. I do think it's at that point, mate, where we do need to freshen it up. And I'm going to call it, I'd sell Salah. There, I said it. I'm not saying I'd sell him because of just the poor form alone. It goes a bit deeper than that. If you go back and watch my streams from a year ago, I said I've always got the impression that if one of the front three moves on, it will be Salah. Probably the one we could cash in for the most as well. I hear, look with it, that's disgraceful, mate. I mean, I'm all for banter, and I'm all for, you know, calling me whatever you want, but to use the bin dipper comment, man, do you know, you're denigrating an entire city of people there, an entire city of pretty fucking good people, mate. So, you know, have a pop at me all you want, but, like, relax with the bin dipper shit, will you? That's just sad. Load of United fans saying 21. Look, long way to go, but you're certainly in the race. I can't argue about you on that one. You're definitely in the race. What's this? I get the new shirt every year. I'm starting to dislike this one, said Grim Jimbo. I feel you, mate, yeah. Sell Salah. Another one, Ben Dickens. You're making a disgrace to your fan base, mate. Honestly, there's some absolutely quality United fans in our chat, and I love interacting with them, but, mate, there's also some sad little fuckers. Honestly, you need to grow up, man. If you want to come in and interact with us, we're all for it. I'll happily talk to you and read out your comments, but do you know what I mean? You're not going to get anywhere in life with that attitude, pal, honestly. I mean, I'm all for banter, and I find it some great comments in there that I love, and really clever ones as well, but do you know, we don't need to be this way as football fans. Banter's sound, all for it, but we all love the sport. We all love the same thing. We've rival clubs, but, you know, we need to show a better way for our sport. We need to just not go to the obvious cliches. We need to show the football is a sport that's filled with good people in a fan base, man. Come on, we're better than that. What are the mods up to? I don't know. They're on a fucking hiatus by the looks of it. Calling me a mug, mate. You're sitting there, right, behind it, a fake name with no profile picture because you haven't got the bollocks to stand over your comment. If you want to have a grown-up conversation, mate, I'm all for it. I will talk to you all day. But I find it hard to be offended by anybody hiding behind a fake name. Because why would I be offended by someone that has no courage? You haven't got the courage to show the world who you are. If you want to stand over all your comments, then let the world know who you are. Own up to them. Own them. Other words, you're just a coward. I have no time for cowards, mate. So, do you know what I mean? I'm all for the banter, but I'm not going to take anything seriously from some little nobody hiding behind a fake Twitter account or a YouTube account because they haven't got the balls to actually let the world know who they are. Do you know what I mean? Klopp out? No, silliness. What else we got? Is Liverpool's league title gone? Yes, I would say so, mate. I'd say we're at that point. How are the tears? Deserved, mate, at this point is how they are. Thoughts on Palace signing? I don't know who the guy is, mate, sorry. Would have liked the United Liverpool title race. So would I, man. I'd have fucking loved that. Triggered. Do I sound angry, mate? Like, honestly, I'm far from triggered. But, you know, that's probably the only word you know, Abdul, because your generation of morons are a particularly bad generation of morons, mate. Whereas, you know, at least my generation is a little bit more creative with the banter, mate. Obviously, I don't know, mate, you've lived a little sheltered life where you've no idea how to banter properly. But it's alright, Uncle Craig will teach you. I'm here to help. You're a lovely lad. Thanks, Peter. I am. I'm just a normal dude, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't take myself too seriously. I don't take any of this stuff too seriously. It's all just a bit of fun. At the end of the day, we got beaten today, and we deserve to be beaten. I'm going to scroll back to see if I can find them. Someone said I missed a couple of super chats, which I hate doing. So again, if I did, I apologise. I'm scrolling up to try and find them, but I can't see them, and they didn't pop up on the top of my screen, so If I did miss them, I sincerely apologise. I mean, I really do apologise if I missed them. Stop crying. Mate, it takes a lot more than this for me to start crying, trust me. What have we got? I love you too. Thank you very much, Lisa. Much appreciate that. Do you think we'll get top 4? I think that's about where we are, I think. I think that's about where we are as the season goes. Yeah, I think we can forget about a title race. I think we are in the top 4 race, mate, as this, I mean, Firmino stealing and living and I can't be bothered. He's been horrendous. I can't argue with you. He's been horrendous. Salah's been horrendous. But it's tough because I find it be very difficult to be critical of these guys when they've delivered so much for us over the last 3 or 4 years. I think they've definitely got enough credit in the bank that we just have to take this on. I'm not going to throw Salah and I'm not going to throw Firmino under a bus. Not after what they've done for our club. Not after the nights and the moments they've given us. No way am I doing that. I'll be the first to say that they're not performing. Absolutely. But I'm not going to throw them under a bus, man. They've earned my respect way too much for that. Peter Frimpong said the Liverpool team needs to be refreshed, bring in new players to replace some ones that played either need to be moved on or want to move on. This happens with every good club after 3 years of success. I touched on that earlier on, Peter, mate. Yeah, I touched on that a piece that Carragher and Neville did on Monday Night Football, and they said exactly that, pal. No problem, Craig. Keep up the good work, United fan. Mate, if I did miss a comment, some man, lash it back in there, pal, and I'll read it out. Appreciate the super chat, man. I apologise if I missed one. Simply embarrassed and said cam vlogs. Yeah, spot on, mate. That's exactly what it was. Would I take Maguire? I have this thing about Maguire where I think he's a good Premier League defender, but I don't. It definitely wouldn't suit our system. But I mean, he's a good Premier League defender, but I don't think he can realistically say he's right up there at the top end. But no, I wouldn't take Maguire. What else we got? As a United fan, you're one of the only Liverpool fans I can respect. Well, look, I hope you find more that you can respect. I appreciate you coming in and I appreciate that you watch and enjoy the content, man. It's all good. Bloody Burnley. Yep, absolutely, man. Burnley. Yep. Of all the teams to lose the home record against, Burnley. Oh, it's so Liverpool, isn't it? Thoughts on Haaland being linked to Chelsea? I've said this before. If I'm repping Haaland right now, I'm telling him stay put at Dortmund till 2022. I certainly wouldn't be bringing him to a Chelsea team right now that looks like they've got no structure, no guidance, no pathway to show how they knit these players together under Lampard anyway. But yeah, I think if I'm representing, of course, which I'm not Haaland, stay put. You're at a good club. You'll be playing Champions League football with Dortmund. He's still really young. He's got his entire career ahead of him. He'll get a massive move. So yeah, I would say stay put, man, right this minute in time. Great content, man. Cheers. Thank you, Gabrielle. Appreciate that. Sunday prediction. Oh, Jesus. I tell you what, man. I don't even know what to think about Sunday at this point. Mojo has gone. Fair point. Absolutely spot on. What, Jones? Yeah, that's a good point, Lewis. I mean, no chance for Curtis Jones there at all tonight. And look, the gaffer can only make 3 changes. Fair enough. But I thought that maybe Curtis Jones would have started that game, particularly after him getting a bit of a rest recently. Pope's the reason Burnley don't get battered. Well, look, Pope's a great keeper and he made some great saves today, but we are our own worst enemies again. Fair play to Nick Pope for making the saves when he needed to make them, but you know, it wasn't one of them games where I think Liverpool, you know, were battering down the goal. We had a handful of chances at best. Would I sign Mbappe and sell Mo? Yes. Keep up the great work from a United fan from Belfast. Lots of love, Luke. Appreciate that, man. United fan thinking 2-1 to United on Sunday. Could well be, pal. I've no idea at this point. Is the title gone? In my opinion, at this moment in time, yes. I would say yes. The title's gone for us this season. Now, of course, anything is possible. And this group have delivered and delivered again and delivered. But not the way we're playing now. I mean, it's gone past 1, 2, 3 games. You're gone past the blip now into looking at maybe a shit season in the league. But, I mean, we've still got the Champions League, and if we can find any form, we've still got time to find some form before that. And look, an FA Cup game on Sunday, which heaven knows how that's going to go. What else we got? And we say we are champions. Well, we technically are champions at the minute, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm a United fan from Derry. How are you, Connor? Welcome into the chat, mate. Lovely to see you. don't give up on the title race yet, mate. Something just isn't clicking. I just think we're giving ourselves too much ground to make up, even if we do click right now. I mean, United obviously in great form at the minute, full of belief, pulling out games with the odd goal, which you need to do in the title race. They're the type of results you need to get. That's won Manchester United titles years ago. It's what won Liverpool the title last year as well. And City are starting to click, and yeah, we're not. So, there's nothing. All the people coming in saying ha 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 and all. Look, I love to just interact with you and actually get your thoughts on it rather than just the silliness, mate. But what else we got? At least we can't get relegated. Yeah, there is that. Banter FC. Well, I don't know what Arsenal have to do with this, Ross, but what do I think about Liverpool in the Champions League? I think it could be our best chance. It's a stretch, but it could be our best chance of getting something out of this season, man. Yeah, it's been a strange one, but it is what it is. I love this channel when Liverpool is losing. Fair enough, mate. I'm glad to see you win one way or the other. What do I think of Origi? I don't know if I can even say that to camera, mate, at this moment in time. Not good enough. As I've always said, Divock Origi scored some hugely important goals for Liverpool and will go down in folklore for those Champions League goals and the late goal against Newcastle and the goal against Everton and lots of other fantastic moments, but you only dine out on them for so long, and he hasn't delivered for a very long time, unfortunately. So I think it's time for Divock to move on. Klopp is a German Lampard. Yes, mate. The man that's won the Premier League, the Champions League, the Club World Cup, the Super Cup, the German Bundesliga twice, the German Cup. Yes, mate. He's a Lampard. That's not at all embarrassing for you, mate. This is the first ever superstar I've sent. Oh, that's very kind of you, man. I'm very flattered that that's the first one you sent, pal. Thank you. Do you think there's any chance you'll win the league still? No, I don't, Luke. Hand on heart, mate. I don't. Leicester could be a dark horse, yes. Certainly they're in good form. They very easily disposed of Chelsea the other night. I thought they were very impressive. Thoughts on Julian Nagelsmann or Tuchel joining Chelsea? I wouldn't want Tuchel anywhere near my club, to be honest. I just think he's overhyped. Nagelsmann's a very good coach, though. Sell Firmino by a finisher. I can understand the comment, mate. As I've said, I find it hard to throw these lads under a bus when they've done so much for us and given us so many amazing nights, but we can't dine out off those forever. You have to keep delivering, and if you're not delivering, you need to move on. Harry Morgan, thank you for the super chat, mate. Do I see Liverpool winning any trophy? Not in this form, mate. No, in all honesty, not in this form. What else we got? One season wonders. Well, mate, do you know what I mean? We did get 99 points, 97 points. I don't ever remember another club from Manchester City hitting those points total. So if that's a one season wonder, if you win the Champions League one year, the Premier League the next year, to me, mate, that's 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Who will win the league? I fucking hope it's not City, to be honest with you, because I hate them as a club. I absolutely despise them and everything that they stand for. Which is fuck all, to be honest with you. Leicester? Leicester, probably. Cheers for the fiver, Brandon. I mean, you know how to spell ha right. Well done, mate. A few gaps in there needed, but cheers for the fiver. Get a centre back and a world class forward. Not that easy to do mid-season. And look, even if you did go out and bring somebody in, which we should have done at the start of the window, to be fair, but if you did go out and bring somebody in, the way Klopp goes about things, it takes a few months for players to get in and up to speed. So even at that, I don't know if that will change it right now. Top 4 predictions. I don't know about an order because, as you probably fully expect, the title race is wide open. But I'm chopping and changing my mind every few minutes on this one. Let's say United, City, Leicester, Liverpool, and some. I think we'll get into the top 4. I can't see us getting any worse than this, but yeah, I think probably that. And Spurs are a good shout as well. It's very difficult to pick right now. You could probably name 6 or 7 clubs who have a valid argument to be talked about in the top 4 race. From United's standpoint, even I got irritated watching Liverpool today. They look like United last year, not being able to break bad teams down. I thought we fixed that problem, man, a few years ago, to be honest with you. Like, we had this problem before under Klopp, and we seem to have solved it, and now we seem to have reverted back to not being able to break down a team that sit deep and counter-attack, which is frustrating. Again, somebody paying for the super chat. I'll read it out, mate, because you paid for it, and I'm a good guy. We hate you too, Charlie Brown. Okay, with the Charlie Brown shit. City title incoming. That's fair enough. I hope you and the other 4 Manchester City fans enjoy it, mate. Danny Ings. Yeah, there was talk. Danny Ings actually went out and said he would want to move. Well, at least he's been attributed to have saying he wanted to move to a Premier League or a Champions League club. Can you even make top 4? Well, yeah, we can do that, but it's a good bit away. Edison Cavani leadership would help Liverpool. I tell you what, I've been very impressed with his attitude. I was watching him at United again, and the tracking back that he does, the work rate that Edison Cavani's putting in. Look, I don't like to say it because he's a United player, but he's putting in a good shift. A good shift. TLR, you've put the same comment in about Firmino, mate. Can you not take the hint that I'm not going to read it? So, do you know? No, they don't have fans, mate. Danny is linked with United. I could see why. He's a very good finisher. Do I think it was a penalty? 100%. Absolutely. I've no arguments about that penalty. Nailed on. If Fabinho didn't get him on the edge of the box, then Alisson certainly gave the referee an easy decision. Yeah, I've no arguments about the penalty. It was nailed on. Craig, fuck the haters, you're a sexy beast. I don't take the hate to heart, mate. I'm too long at this now to take any of that stuff to heart. Top lad you are. I really want to beat City. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Look, folks, I'm gonna have to go. Badly Baldy. Did you mean to write Baldy twice, Chris? And shit the bed, mate. You had to go, Chris. Fair play, mate. But 2 words. I don't think you got them right there. But fair play for trying, Chris. Well done. Do I want to clear out? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Somewhat, yes, but I think it's fair to say that any squad in 3 and 4 years like that, you need to freshen it up and bring in some new faces. But they certainly have some big shoes to fill, whoever does come in. Do I think Tyrone Mings would be good for Liverpool? A lot of people have said that, and I don't know if I'm just guilty of massively underrating Mings and what he does, which I probably am, to be fair. Watch along highlights up in a few minutes. Baldy. I am the way you like it, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm sexy bald, to be fair. Like, a lot of work goes into shining this chrome dome, pal. Big rebuild this summer, yes. I think not a rebuild to an extent, yes. We'll be back, Craig. Mark my words. Oh look, I've no doubt about we'll be back. Fault, Brian. Love it, mate. Love it. You're an absolute go. Thank you, Jack. Oh look, I appreciate all the fun. 7-2, man, wasn't there? Look, that 7-2 thing, people think it was a bad thing, and look, I took one on the chin, 100%, but do you know, if it brought people to the channel and let them know we exist and they stuck around, worth it in my opinion. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go and get some tissues for the tears. But look, wherever you are in the world right now, I hope you're safe, I hope you're well. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, and try and spread some positive vibes out there, because we need it right now in the world, because there's enough negativity floating about. So look, I'm going to say goodnight. Lots of love to all of you. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so before you head off. Drop a like on the video. And yeah, we've a lot of work to do, but let's see how the season works.